Imagine if you put the time, the energy, the effort, the focus, the attention that you put into doubting yourself, into worrying, into trying to fix and figure out what you need to do. Imagine if you put all of that time and attention and energy into believing in yourself, into imagining and thinking about and dreaming of the best case scenarios. If you put all of that time and attention into creating and living as you want to. Mindset is everything. It's the key to us living limitlessly, to us living lives that we love, to us living as we want to us loving ourselves. We so easily go into these belief systems that are conditioned in us that tell us that we aren't worthy, that we aren't enough, that we need to prove, that we need to please, that we need to provide, that we need to do anything to be worthy of having and living as we want to, that we need to have some kind of outward validation so that we can love ourselves and feel worthy. Hi, I'm Courtney. Welcome to the Divinely Aligned channel. Today, what's coming through to talk to is mindset. And I mean, really, that's what I'm talking about pretty much every day, all day. Consciousness, mindset, our belief systems, because that is the root cause of everything that is creating everything in your reality, your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs. So these beliefs that we have and we hold on to, the beliefs that you, about life, about the world, about other people, about reality, your beliefs are then creating the thoughts that you are having all day, which are creating the actions that you're taking, which are then creating the behaviors that are creating your reality. The good news is that we can change our beliefs. We can recode and rewire our beliefs through consciousness, through consistency, through devotion. Devotion is one of my favorite words because it's been a pivotal experience for me, devoting to myself. This happened back in September, like really truly. I chose to devote to getting on my yoga mat for 111 days, and I did it. And maybe that doesn't seem like a big deal, but to me it was. Yes, I'm a yoga teacher and have been for, I don't know, a long time, over a decade. But I did not have a yoga practice. I had a lot of pain when it came to doing yoga, not physically, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, due to a lot of things within my past. And I had a yoga studio that I closed in COVID, and just a lot of things. It was hard for me to be on my mat unless I was teaching, to just be on my mat and moving and with myself. A lot of things would come up. And so it was what I needed. My soul knew that. And it excited me. It ignited me. It also terrified me, but in a way that was like, I know good things will come if I just follow through. And we always know. We know when we're scared because, like, there's an actual threat. There's a lion at your door. And when it's our soul or it's our ego just afraid of the unknown, afraid of not knowing what may happen, right? So for me, I knew that I needed to get on my mat every day and just be with myself, whether it was 5 minutes or 5 hours. I just needed to get on my mat every day for 111 days. And me doing that, me devoting to myself, was one of the most pivotal things I've ever done. Not yes, there was a lot of physical benefits that came from being back in my yoga practice again, but it was more so my mindset. It was more so my consciousness. There was so much healing that happened. Like the first 5 days, I think I had multiple emotional breakdowns, but breakthroughs and things that came through and happened that I could have never planned or imagined or expected by doing this. But the biggest thing was just as I've talked in the last few videos, is I started to trust myself fully, because I started to show up for myself. And the amount of times that I have promised myself that I will do things for me, but then I put others above me because I don't feel worthy or I doubt myself and I don't believe in myself, and I constantly was in this battle. And we aren't going to believe in ourselves and trust ourselves until we follow through on what we want to do, which means that we need to start somewhere. And the good news is that it doesn't take long. If you just consistently do anything for you because you want to, you will start to rewire your neural pathways. When we start to break up the patterning, when we start to shift the programming, we become more conscious. If we just continually do the same things, we're going to keep running on that unconscious programming. So when we start to believe enough in ourselves to just follow through, it can be the littlest thing. It can be, I'm just going to wake up and meditate. I'm going to wake up and read a book. I'm going to go for a walk middle of the day. Like, just start to do something for you every day. Every day. There's 24 hours in a day. You can choose. You can definitely choose 5 minutes, but like, let's push ourselves a little. Let's choose an hour, like an hour where it's just about you. It can just be as simple as that, is 1 hour of a day that you like take out for yourself to do whatever you want to do that day. It's not, oh, if I do this thing for this amount of days, then I should make this amount of money, or then I'll look like I know what I'm doing in this area, whatever it is. We're not doing it for a desired outcome other than deeply connecting and showing up for ourselves, because that's how you're going to start to build confidence and trust in yourself. But if you're always abandoning and putting everything and everyone else first, then do you see that even when you have dreams or desires or things you want to do, where your ego is just going to already assume that you're not going to follow through because that's what you normally do? And even the things, even if you are someone that really does follow through on your commitments, how often do you follow through on commitments for yourself? Or are you putting all of your energy and effort into showing up for everyone else? It's time to stop doubting yourself through showing up for yourself, through proving to yourself that you can rely on yourself. That's why we're all struggling with living our purpose, with being happy, with following what we want to do, with having our dreams come true, with creating the dream business or having the perfect relationship or whatever it is that you're currently feeling like you want but maybe don't have. It's because the divine is not going, we don't get fully rewarded and supported when we aren't choosing ourselves. So there may be a lot of ways where you're having a lot of things work out, where you're really seeing your power and your light, or maybe there aren't any. But I promise you that the more that you choose yourself, the more that you believe in yourself, the more that you put your time and energy and attention into focusing on what you want to do, on how good it could be, on how limitlessly you can live if you just follow through. Like, your energy, your attention, your awareness in any moment is going somewhere. We're always imagining something, but for the most part, we're worrying. I think it's something I need to start writing down facts. But anyways, I always think I can remember. I think it's like 90% of our day, we are worrying. The more that you're putting your energy and your attention, your awareness on the problem solving, the fixing, the worrying, the doubting, the negative self-talk, the limiting beliefs. Really, the moral of this, the more that you focus on your limitations, the more proof of your limitations you're going to see. The more that you focus on your limitless reality, your limitless possibilities, on being the identity of you that you want to be, the more you're going to see proof of that in your reality. Reality is a mirror. However you show up is what's going to be reflected to you. And so even if you're showing up and you're playing this role of being, let's just go with me, being a podcaster, right? A podcaster and YouTuber, you're showing up every day, you're putting out the videos, but you're playing a role and you're doubting yourself and you're forcing them and you're not enjoying it and you're feeling like you need to prove something and you're doubting that anyone even wants to listen to you and you're afraid of reading the comments and whatever it is. That's the reality you're going to see. reflected back. But when you start to show up and you are doing this because you love it and you love sharing your voice and your truth or whatever gift it is that you have, and you see more and more proof of that the world wants that, and then the more that you follow that and the more that you follow what it excites and ignites you, the more opportunities come and the more people really truly do connect with you, because that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for connection. But if we can't even connect to ourselves, if we aren't believing in ourselves, if we're doubting ourselves, if we're imagining things not working out, worst case scenarios, blah blah blah, we're not even following our dreams because we feel like we have to fix all these problems, then we're not feeling the satisfaction and the fulfillment that we're looking for. So it's time for you to stop doubting yourself and start believing in yourself. Start trusting in what feels right for you. And the more that you do and the more that you commit to showing up, so that's what I was saying before, is that the more that you just start to show up for yourself, choose something, anything that you would love to do, that you can just do daily for you, whatever time. It can, if it feels right for you, it can be a specific time of day. I personally like doing it whenever, like for me, my first one was getting on my yoga mat. The second one is now posting a video every day, right? And I know that for me, it doesn't work to like have a specific time or anything like that. I'm very non-specific in my manifestation magic, but I do know I need when I need to commit to things. So for you, whatever it is you feel you need to commit to, if you feel like there needs to be more structure that lights you up, then sure. Maybe every day at noon you meditate or whatever it is. But don't make it more complicated than you know that you can follow through on, because that's just starting with self-sabotage. Because as soon as you don't show up at noon to meditate, then your ego is going to be like, see, I knew you couldn't do it. And then 3 days will go by and you haven't done it, and then you've just proven your ego right again. So just make it as easy as possible, something that you would love to do, and then do it and see what happens. You are worthy of your time, of your attention, and it will most likely evolve. Like that was the thing for me, was getting on my mat. I just started to hear and feel and connect to myself in a way that I hadn't in a really, like really ever, to be honest. And that just started to bring so much more through, and is really the reason that I'm here right now talking to you. And the reason that I have all of the magical things happening in my life is because I just simply started to show up for myself and gained a new level of belief and trust in myself. And the more that I did that, you know what else happened? Is because I was giving my time and attention and awareness to this devotion I had for myself, other things that weren't as supportive of my best self and my best life, I didn't have time for. So they fell away, right? There's so many things that we waste our time on in a day. And it seems really hard if we're like, I'm going to scroll less. I'm going to spend less time just watching Netflix. I'm going to spend less time, whatever it is, whatever things you're doing that aren't serving you, living at a higher frequency, they won't resonate or be a match anymore the more that you show up for yourself, and they'll just easily disappear. But when we focus on them, it's all we think about. And then it's all we want to do. But if you just create and start to do and choose and believe in yourself and follow through on what you want to do, it is so fucking powerful and so magical. Like everyone needs to just devote to themselves. And I get that that has been conditioned in us and it's selfish or whatever, greedy. It's ridiculous. You should be the most important person to yourself. I know very few people that love themselves less than I used to. And it was a journey for me to, first of all, start to love myself. And it's still a daily journey, but it was even more complicated journey for me to really start talking about it. Now, I used to talk about it a lot, but I felt like an imposter because I wasn't living it. And now I'm living it. It's a very unpopular opinion that the answer to life is to love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you are going to create a life that supports that. And if you love yourself and are living a life you love, you are not going to need to take and manipulate from other people. You get to just be you. And when you've been around people that love themselves, that love life, it ignites something in us, and that's what we want. Now, our humanness likes when we see others that are suffering and struggling, and makes us feel better about ourselves, because sometimes it challenges us when we see people just in their light if we know that we aren't. But we are not here anymore. Those of us that are here to be conscious and awake and aware and live in this new earth frequency, we are not here to dim to fit in anymore. We are not here to be afraid of our light trigger and activating, because if your light triggers and activates anything and anyone, it is meant to. I am here just sharing my journey and what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. And I have also learned from so many incredible humans that have done a lot of work and know a lot of facts and studies and magic that I needed for myself to be able to live this. Like, my self-conscious really was stubborn in wanting to know all of the facts and truth about living a life that we love, and quantum manifestation and quantum jumping and quantum physics and neural pathways and neuroscience and all of the things. And I learned it all from the best I could find, but I learned all that so that I could truly embody and live it and be able to recode and rewire my own mind and show up as the identity and version of me, so that I can be an example for you of the fact that you get to do this too. Anyone can. I'm not special. It's just that I have an obsession with humans and with consciousness and with mindset. And there's nothing more powerful than our mindset. And when you can start to focus more and more on your paradigm, your mindset, your perspective being on your side, seeing things working out for you, seeing yourself being who you want to be, and believing that you're worthy of that. The more that you do that, the more and more your unconscious and your self-conscious will get on board. But they need repetition. Your unconscious learns through repetition. And the more that you do something, the more it sees that you want to do it. And the more that you do it and survive it, the more it codes it in that this is safe. Like, think about it just like if you move, or yeah, we'll just say you move to a new city, right? And now you have to learn how to drive to the grocery store, right? You might have to GPS it or whatever, right? We have to put some effort, some consciousness, some awareness into getting where we're going for a while, until you just learn the way. And then the next thing you know, it's like back in your hometown when you were just easily going to the grocery store, not even knowing how you got there. Can't even remember if you stopped at a red light, right? Because our unconscious or subconscious mind will just take over once we program and condition something in. So the more stubborn you are right now in your limiting beliefs or your patterns or your ways of being, you can also see that that's a good thing, because as soon as you recode your beliefs, you will be that stubborn again. It's just that it takes some time and some consistency and some energy and focus. So we can keep being lazy and playing the game of limiting beliefs and self-doubt, or we can start to live more consciously, more awake and aware. And it's way more fun to actually live your life than to look back and be like, I don't know where this month went. I don't really remember most of the days, or just monotonously doing the same things over and over again, unconsciously just surviving and getting by. I mean, that's fine. No judgment if that's what you're choosing and want to do, but you're still listening to me. So I'm going to assume that you really want to live a life that you love, that you want to live a life beyond your wildest dreams. All you have to do is devote to you, is believe in you, is trust in yourself and show up for yourself and devote to whatever it is that you want to do.